Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Happy Sunday night. I know most people have probably gone to their beds, but I just wanted to make a quick video for y'all to check in with the people and let you know everything that's been going on. Well, it's been a while since I did my live. I've been around. I'm not dead. I'm yet alive. But I wanted to check in. There's been a number of things going on, especially with work. So my sister is calling. Let me tell her I'm doing a live. But like I said, it's been a while since I've seen y'all, and it's been a while since I've checked in. But since you've been gone, I've been thinking about you, baby. Got me all messed up. Do, 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 do. Anyways, hot mess. Anyways, so like most of y'all know, I went on vacation in December. And, podcast was going on. And so I went on vacation. I went home. And listen, I think I came back from vacation very disillusioned. Like, it was not what I expected it to be. And I think, to be honest, it kind of threw me off. Like, most of what happened while I was on vacation, I think it definitely threw me off in terms of focusing and doing the podcast, just getting into the groove of just healing and moving forward. I think going home set me back. I think it did. Because I was in a good space before I left. I was, chilled, mellow, nothing disturbing my peace. However, I went to Jamaica and a lot of things did not go, how I envisioned they would go. It had been like 3 years since I went back home. And the last time I was there for my father's funeral. And, that in itself was an ordeal, an experience. And I hadn't gone back since then. But my son, he wanted to go, and this trip was all about him. It was because of him that I went. And so we were like, it was kind of last minute, like, hey, let's get a ticket. Let's go to Jamaica and let's go to the beach, because he was talking about the beach and he wanted to, just be in the sand and have fun. Like, one of his dreams or one of the dreams were to get sand and take it back to his home, which he did. He took sand on the plane along with shells. So the whole trip was about him going, seeing family, and he keeps telling people, "Oh, I'm Jamaican and I'm from Jamaica." No, you ain't. You're not from Jamaica. You were not born in Jamaica. Dude, you were born on Fort Hood. You were not born in Jamaica, so you're not Jamaican. Yeah, how about that? But when we went to Jamaica, we were supposed to meet up with this particular person, and we I thought we had plans to meet up at church, and this is very close to home. I'm not gonna call any names or anything like that, but I wanted y'all just to get an idea of the things that kind of threw me off, and maybe it will put it in perspective, like me now trying to get back on track, me now trying to get back in the game, in the game, in the game. So my son, yeah, he was supposed to meet up. Well, we were supposed to meet up with this person. We thought the person was gonna meet up with us at church, but we watched while at church. We did not see that person, and when we went home, my son, he texted the person. He sent a voice note. He's like, "Hey, why weren't you at church though?" So the person actually, well, he actually called the person because there was a missed call, and they talked, normally. And he asked again why the person wasn't at church, and they explained, or they gave an explanation why they weren't. And so we thought that was that. And um, trying to meet up with the person again, um, like having some kind of hope that we would see the person before we left and came home. So, like the next morning, my son, he has a phone, because at times he needs to get in touch with me. So he has his own phone, and different ones know the number. So in the morning, like very early, I saw this message, and I'm gonna read it verbatim so you can understand like the whole tone and like the whole thing. So it says, "Hi, Isaiah. The tone of your voice note is rather unfortunate. It appears that you're reprimanding me for not being at church, which was rude and inappropriate. I live somewhere, which is where I'm for the most part if I'm not at work. I hope that in the future your tone is more seasoned and respectful. Uh, Wishing you a safe flight back home." Every time I see this, it throws me back. It does. It throws me back into like road rage mode. And so, like, I crafted a response. Like, I was going to call the person, but I I managed to craft a response, which, just looking back, um, I don't know if that was the best thing to do. However, um, I'll just read my response, and I'll just remove the things that will help you to identify who the person is. So it says, "Listen, lady, I have had to deal with your crap for the last 9 years of my life, and I am done with it. With it. As I is 6 years old, I am not sure where, in your demented mind, you would come up with him giving you a reprimand with his tone. Maybe if you weren't feeling guilty about being a crappy person in his life, you would not be assuming a reprimand from a 6 year old's tone. As I tell others, and I tell you, I am still training him, and he is still learning. So he is honest, kind, and the sweetest person you will never know. Maybe if you had focused on your family member, how to teach them respect and how to be seasoned in their speech, they would have been a better person and they would have made better decisions. I'm paraphrasing how. And my son is doing extremely well without you and that your other family member in his life, and he will continue to do so. And I did say, go get some therapy for the hatred and the paranoia that has overtaken you. She needs, she needs just a little more Jesus. So, yes, no, I do not think that was like appropriate for anybody to send a 6 year old. And mind you, like I said, it was sent to my son's phone. It wasn't sent to my phone. So, yeah, it did not sit well with me. And so I responded. And so that person has since blocked us. And we are no longer, communicating with that person. So I think that was one of the biggest things that kind of threw me off. And it also sent me like into a spiral like, why do people need to be so hateful? It was very sad. And even just going home and going even to church, that threw me off too. Like I was very excited to go to church and I was very excited to see a lot of people that I had not seen for a while. However, when I went, it was not a warm, well, I cannot say for everybody, but it wasn't like a warm welcome like hey girl, hey, welcome home. No, it was like, oh, we saw your post on Facebook about being, separated from your husband. We saw your post about being, you know, um, an outcast, basically. Because that's how we're going to treat you. Like, you have the scarlet letter on your forehead or something. And we did see your post on Facebook that you have a broken marriage. However, I never knew those people saw my post because they did not reach out to say, okay, sister in Christ, oh, we're so sorry for what's going on. Do you need anything? Do you need some prayer? A word of encouragement. No, I did not hear from those people. And yet they had seen my post on Facebook. Listen, it ain't about you, it's about me and getting my healing and freedom. And I am walking in it. And so, even going there, I came back with like, I am not going back to that place. That's how I felt. I mean, it can change in the future, but we don't know. That's how I felt like I don't need to go back to that place. However, I am just going to let the Lord work on the heart. But I didn't like how I felt. Like just being greeted by certain persons, one person in particular, one person, and a lot of people didn't know this, but I'm gonna say it right now and you gonna hear it. So one person, she did ask me, so how old is your son? Um, Ma'am, is that to say you trying to check his age to see if I was pregnant before I left there, to see if I had him, when I got to the place instead of not being in the wedlock and the thing? No, he was conceived in wedlock, ma'am. So he ain't 7, he ain't 8, he's 6. Don't ask me his age. I didn't do that, but I probably wish I did. I went to the church with the Lord on me. I did not expect the people to be nasty. I didn't expect them to show me the cold shoulder, and I did not expect, to get the reaction from most persons that I did. However, I think talking about it now, talking about it now, I feel I feel a release, like I can let them go. Yeah, I thought this was my church. I thought I got saved here. I started singing here. I got married there. I thought this was my church. My sister. I thought it was my church. But I don't know. I don't know. The people, they did not give me the welcome that I thought, after not seeing me for 4 years, they did not give me that welcome. But it's all good. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to move on. It's okay. So, those are like two of the main things that kind of threw me off. Well, why y'all haven't really seen me doing the podcast thing. And then I came home and then we got a puppy. I love my little girl so much, my little Lily. So that is keeping us busy. But thanks, you are the church, not the building. Yeah. Yeah, the people. So yeah. So just trying to refocus, trying to balance. Um and now I'm letting y'all back into the journey on this divorce journey. I've been divorced now November, December, January, February, March, April, 5 months, almost 6 months. Do not let anybody tell you that when you get divorced, everything severs and, everything jumps back into alignment, or you forget about the person and you just move on with a new wonderful life. At times there are days where, man, this is the best life ever. Like being divorced is awesome. I am telling you the truth. Sometimes it's awesome because, like, the turmoil that you had, you're not there anymore. Like all the crazies, like the hamster on the wheel going round and around and around and around. You're not there anymore. And you have peace in your mind and in your heart. And, you're being your true self. You don't have to put a mask on, trying to live up to like some unrealistic expectations. So sometimes it's great. But other times you're like, oh my God, what the hell is this? This is not the life that I signed up for. Like now, I need somebody to cut my grass. I ain't got nobody to cut my darn grass, like in the backyard. I need somebody to do that. And my AC filter needs changing. I need somebody to do that. So I'm gonna have to pay somebody to do all these things that a spouse could do, but that spouse is no longer here, right? So that part sucks. And this is not a laughing matter. And no, I am not drunk. I did not have anything to drink alcoholic. So if you're thinking, oh, she is crazy. No, It's the joy of the Lord. It's just giving me strength. But in all seriousness, um, like for real, like your feelings for the person that you had when you decided to get married, they don't just disappear and, or let nobody tell you, oh, I totally hate this person, or I'm still completely and overwhelmingly in love with this person. It's no, it's trying to find a balance. I love this person enough to make a commitment at that time. Now, a lot of things have happened, very disappointing things. You're trying to balance, especially as a child of God. You can say, "Oh, I hate this person, and I never want to see them. Don't mention their names." And no, it's finding a balance. I hope that you'll be happy. You wish them well. Don't look back, 'cause it'll be too late. I'm going on with my life. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. You live your life, bro, and I'll live my life. I'll walk on and move on. So, so now being here with my son and my little doggy, trying to balance single mom life and work, like working full time outside of the home, and then having full time duties here as well. Um, why am I telling you all of this? Let's wrap it up. So, life is never ever going to be like flowers, daisies and roses and just easy street. There are going to be seasons where, you're on the mountain, and there are going to be other seasons where you are going to be in the valley, but it's necessary. It's a part of the process. And so, um, just reflecting on being a single mom, I think I've been a single mom even while I was married. Like, even just giving birth to my son, I was basically by myself. And just the days leading up or the days after having him, going home with him, and, different ones being in the home, his father being in the home, it still felt a lot of times like I was still a single mom because there were so many responsibilities that, you know, it's kind of, oh, you are the mother, so it's expected of you that you have to do these things, rather than it being like a partnership. We're in this thing together. And so, where you are not able to jump in, I'll jump in, or I'll back you up. You're tired here, I'll do this. It was not like that. It was never like that. Like, even being married, I had to find a babysitter. I had to do that on my own. Even not having a full time job, having just a part time job and going to school full time, I had to make arrangements for childcare, whether you liked it or not, whether you have 1,000 things going on. I had to be the one to do that. And it's something that pushed me into like autopilot mode. I was just going. And it's just something that I had to do because nobody else was going to do it. Nobody else was going to go out to make sure that, he has food, or make sure that he's somewhere safe when I'm at work. And so I've had to be juggling that for a very long time. I remember even having my part time job and like having no support from his father. And I had to get a credit card. I had to get like one of those credit cards where you have a very high, what do you call it? Hey, girl, hey. I had to get a credit card where it had like $3,000 on it. It was a yes, one of those ones. And man, I can remember like every single month I had to max that thing out just to make sure that he was taken care of. He had somewhere to stay, and he had food, and you know somebody was watching him. I enrolled him in school very early. He went to preschool, but this was not a free preschool, right? So I had to pay for him to go to preschool while he had a father that was not working. How about that? How about that? So I'm telling you all of this to let you know, like, whenever we see somebody at a certain place in their life, or we see them achieving certain things, know that nothing came easy. Like, none of it came easy. None of the things that we've gotten so far came just by happenstance. It did not fall in our laps, right? There were so many persons, like God handpicked certain persons to be at the right place to take care of my son. I remember I was trying to do like sales because I loved cooking. Well, not loved, I do love cooking. And I had these very, very expensive pots. Yay. And so I loved the pots and I loved cooking. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go around, show the pots, talk about the food and the health benefits from using these pots. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But you don't have a babysitter. How about that? So what I had to do was pray hard. And God just put some very, very special people, some of them complete strangers. Complete strangers. I remember my son, he was like 3, and just like complete I had to leave him at times with almost complete strangers, persons I did not have like a relationship with, a long-term friendship with, to say, oh, I know them, I can trust them with my child. Like, I just had to go by faith and allow them to keep my son for a few hours. And so that was one of the most heart wrenching times of my life, like having to leave my child with strangers and having to go out trying to make some money to make sure that I can pay this credit card off, because I don't want them to come find me. And I have to make sure that he has money to go to school and he has his lunch and his snacks. So I had no choice. I had absolutely no choice. There are so many random people that I had to leave my son with. Like, it's kind of countless at this point. And then at one stage, I found this babysitter, and her rate was not very expensive. And it was actually somebody at church who introduced me to her. And I started taking my son there. It was a home daycare. And I thought this was the answer. I'm like, yes. But every single time I dropped my son off, he would scream bloody murder. Like, it was so unsettling. And my son, he's been talking since he was 1. And I think at some points, I don't know, I was questioning him, and what came out is that the babysitter was beating his bum. So I'm like, oh my God, they want me to go to jail. So I could not take him back afterwards. I couldn't take him back. And so a lot of the things, even trying to do the sales, that fell through. I couldn't keep doing it because there was not the consistent help, especially at nights, because I had to go in the evening time to I didn't have the help to keep my child. And so it broke my heart every single time, like trying to find a a permanent solution, then a permanent childcare solution. And it weighed on me for over a year. And even going to school, man, I had to take my son to school with me. I was getting my graduate degree, and I had to take my son to school with me. It's no joke. I had to take him. So at one point, the person that I lived with, she's like, oh no, you ain't gonna use my internet. And so I had to go to the library every single day almost, and I had to take my baby, and then we had to book like one of those individual rooms where I could have him and he could watch his movies and he could eat his snacks. That was like our thing where we rented the room for the day and then we'd be there, and that's how I got my assignments done. So people, it's not easy. None of it is easy. None of it is going to be easy, and you have to learn how to be resilient. You have to learn how to endure when it seems like your whole life is coming apart, when it seems like your whole life, is crashing down underneath you, like you do not see a way out. I saw no way out. I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, I was full of faith. Oh yeah, God is gonna deliver me. Mm-mm. I was like, God, what did I do? Why have you forsaken me? Like, why have you walked away from me? Why have you turned your back on me? That was my cry some days, because I could not see a way out. I didn't see the end. And this lasted over a year, like over a solid year. And I had to sit in it. I had to sit in it. No, I was depressed. I was very depressed. I didn't laugh anymore. It was so heavy. Like the whole season was so heavy. I don't know if others saw it on me, but it was very heavy. I felt hopeless. I felt very, very hopeless. And I didn't know when he was going to deliver. I didn't know when he was going to open the doors. But he did. At one point, I had about 4 jobs. I had about 4 jobs at one point. I worked at two churches in the daycare, because the churches, they have daycare for the babies during service. I worked at two churches. I worked part-time as a graduate assistant, and then I worked part-time. I was doing the sales. Man, I was doing so many jobs at one point. um, but then there was this lady, and then I was working at a preschool, and then this lady, the admin, she's in charge. She said, "Listen, are you getting child support?" I'm like, "No." And then my thing at the time was like, I am not going to force somebody to take care of their own child. If he doesn't want to take care of his child, and when I said nothing, I mean nothing. I think over a year, I got maybe $150 from his father. I think so. And I'm like, I am not gonna force somebody to take care of their own child. But the lady's like, that's not how you look at it. You are taking away from him by not giving him the support of both parents. It's it's doing the best for your child, making sure that he has every single thing that he needs and that all his needs are being met. And that's your responsibility to do that. And so you need to get child support. And so I took that wonderful advice from that wonderful lady. However, when when I went to court, I had to go to court with my husband for child support. That was one of the most embarrassing times in my entire life. And I would not go through that experience again, but I would encourage people to make sure that your children are taken care of. um, you owe that to them. And then if you cannot do it on your own, if you are struggling to do that, you owe it to that child, those children, to ensure that that other parent is doing their part. That is your part as a parent, to ensure that your child's needs are being met. And you have to do that through the legal route, not I am not going to be on the phone with anybody. Oh, hey, I need the devil is a liar. I am not calling you. The courts will deal with it. And then when you fall behind on child support and you ain't saying nothing to me, you can go to jail. I mean, that's it. And that's not me, that's the law. So what I am saying is, and mind you, like, you will get child support. They will order the parents to pay child support, but that's not to say you're going to get it every single month, or it's not always going to be on time, but that you still have that protection. You still do. And I'm not saying right now, oh, everything is hunky dory and I get my child support every month and you are, yeah, no, no. I get it when I get it. And I'm just not gonna keep fighting. I know I did my part. If I need to take further actions, I will, but I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with anybody. Um, and then to say, we have come to a very, very peaceful place where my son, he's old enough to go to public school, because he was not going to public school before. He's going to public school now. And so that means he's at school all day. Yes, free childcare. That's free childcare right there. That's what we want. We want them to age up so they can go to school and we don't have to pay for childcare anymore. That's what we want. Yes, God delivers. He came through. And so my son, he's very responsible now. He can take care of himself, basically. Like, that's why he has his own phone. And we are at a very, very good place. God has just stepped in and he has taken care of us, and he has brought us through these past 3 years, trying to juggle childcare for 3 years. It was not an easy feat. And yes, April is always stressful. Listen, it really drains you as the parent, like the parent who's always providing. It really, really drains you because you have all these things to worry about. And then, like I said, always at the forefront of your mind. Oh my God, am I going to be able to feed him? Am I going to be able to make sure, that he has proper clothing, the right clothes for different seasons? It stresses you out. And like I said, it weighed on my heart for all those years. Like, it really brought me to a very, very dark and depressed place, because that's my heart. Like, my heart is to make sure that my child is taken care of, because he didn't ask to be here. And I am going to make sure that he has the best of everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, he's going to get the most expensive things. He's going to have an iPad and this and this and that. No, to make sure that I am setting him up for a good future, to make sure that I'm giving him the right foundation that, can launch him into a great future. So that's what I had to do. And now I can say I am no longer in autopilot mode. Like, I am living now. I can breathe. I can take a breath. I can sit, and do nothing. I'm not always going, running. And so that's even something that my son developed, because we were always running together, like running from one place to the next, running from one place to the next. And so now he is a runner. Like, he runs everywhere. He runs every single place. And now, even on his soccer team, they're like, oh my God, he's so fast. He's like um, Usain Bolt. And he wants to be like Usain Bolt because he is fast. He says, oh, Usain Bolt is the fastest man alive, and I'm the fastest boy alive. But we're not running anymore. We're not running from place to place. We can walk, we can take our time. Most times I'm late getting to places now because I need to be delivered from that. But we can breathe. We can breathe. He is like Flash, and he does watch Flash on Netflix. He's like, I want to watch Flash, but he's very fast. It's a good and a bad thing, because he had to, be juggling with me. I call him my adventure buddy because we've been through so much together. But I guess it's good more than bad, because now he's looking at trying to get a career out of being fast. So what I'm saying is, hang in there. Um, it might seem so dark, like whatever it is, it might seem so stressful. You might feel like, oh my gosh, I am losing my mind. Don't lose your mind. Talk to somebody. Call a friend, call a therapist, somebody. Do not suffer in silence. Don't I told you at the beginning, don't do it in silence. Like, the silence loves shame, shame loves silence. And so don't sit in silence. Don't sit in shame and think that, oh, I'm by myself. No, there's somebody who can listen to you, and there's somebody. I'm here to tell you, I made it out. Like, I made it out from buying a Walmart package of fried chicken, making sure that it will last us for the week, to, what do you want for dinner tonight? Do you want pizza tonight, or do I need to make something? It will get better, right? So I'm here, and I am not gonna uh, uh, leave you without a dope beat to step two, step two, step two. I'm not gonna leave you this long again. I got my smile again, and them people can go behind me. Not in the bad way, but I'm gonna leave them in the past. I'm gonna walk away. So, y'all, let's dream again. Let's hope again. And let's have faith again. And let's continue to heal together. So, until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you soon.